Hi everyone and very good evening. Welcome to BYJU'S Exam Prep. My name is Alpa Sharma and I hope I'm absolutely audible and visible to everyone watching me live. Very good evening. So good to see all of you guys watching me live. We're going to start off with the fundamentals of critical reasoning in the series that I've brought for you today. This series will have 4 classes. This is the first one. We're going to be working on the basics of assumptions. So, if you could quickly confirm that I'm clearly audible and visible, we shall commence with the agenda of the class. Hi, Debitaru. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Okay, so I think I'm clearly audible and visible. एक बार फिर से recap बता देती हूँ मैं आपको हम क्या करने वाले हैं इस session में. So I'm going to start off with a new series where we will aim at understanding the basic fundamentals of critical reasoning. This is part 1 in the class. Okay, I'll be having 4 classes. Hi, good evening, good evening, good evening. I'll be having 4 classes. In today's session, we are going to be working on understanding the basics of assumptions and we'll apply that understanding to some questions. Of course, after the class happens, you can go back home and do some homework. So, I hope everyone understands the agenda of the class. Before I start discussing the basics of critical reasoning, that's assumptions with you, a couple of things. If you're targeting CLAT 2024, I am coming live on our app on 21st of May, 6 p.m. with a workshop on what should your strategy be to ace your dream NLU and a seat in that. Make sure you come live, watch me live on 21st May, 6 p.m. and we're going to figure out what strategy is going to work out for you and what might not. If you're wishing to prepare for one of our courses, we have a 2024 comprehensive course. This is the number of our counselors. You can call them to know more about. But before you enroll yourself for this program, sit for a scholarship test. That's going to happen on 14th of May, 11 a.m. Do not miss out on that. Thousands of scholarship you could win. Sit for it and we shall see you in the classes very soon. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Good evening. Okay, so now that we're going to start off with the basics of critical reasoning, I'm going to show you a picture, okay? And we'll keep this class very simple because the idea is to get the basics strong. And if your basics aren't strong, you'll never be able to get the questions correct. So assumption questions are plenty. You see them under one-liner questions in exams like ALET or MHCT or SLAT. You see them in paragraph-based questions like it comes in CLAT. But then it's an inevitable part of your critical reasoning understanding. So we're going to start off with assumptions. I will show a picture to you. You have to look at the picture carefully and understand what is hidden there behind the picture. Here it is. Look at it, everyone. Do you get some hint? Since we're talking about assumptions, looking at the picture, do you understand anything? And if you do, what do you understand out of it? What do you understand out of the picture? You see 2 people looking at the same number, but their perspectives are different. One assumes it to be 6, the other assumes it to be 9. That's their perspective. Yes, Tanya, that exactly is the core of an assumption. When this person looks at the number, he can constantly argue saying, oh, I see it's a 6. You are crazy to call it a 9. This is this person. Let me name this person A and B, okay? So person A knows some things in his head. He believes what his eyes see is the gospel, is the truth, and he goes by that. So when he sees a number from his perspective, he says, my assumption is this is 6. What you think, I don't care about that. But what I believe in is that 6. So what this A believes in is his assumption. B, on the contrary, might say, okay, this is 9. So that's another perspective. Yeah, confusion between 6 and 9 depends on perspective. Different perspective एक ही चीज की दो लोगों को अलग अलग दिखा सकती है. अब आता है मेजर क्वेश्चन. देखो एक बात याद रखना, when A and B can have different perspectives, अपने अपने माइंड में A भी करेक्ट होगा और B भी करेक्ट होगा. So when you get assumption questions, you have to see हम किसके perspective से चीजें देख रहे हैं. I'll repeat. If I'm looking at things from A's perspective, the assumption has to be made by A and not B, that is you. So if you're a reader, we don't care about what you believe in. We care about what the speaker believes in. So that's the first thing I'm going to talk about. Let's have a look at something else now before I discuss it in detail. This is my favorite diagram, okay? And I believe this is one diagram that's going to make you understand the fundamentals of assumption in a very clear, crystal clear manner. तो देखो ड्राइंग मेरी थोड़ी सी गंदी है, बट सोचो ये घर बनाया मैंने. Okay, I built a house, a castle maybe. When I build a castle, what is that first thing that I am going to be making? The first thing that I'm going to be making is the foundation, right? This foundation is the assumption. उसके बाद घर बन गया. Do you see the foundation after that? You do not. Be very attentive with what I'm explaining, everyone. Do you see the foundation after that? You don't. You see the house, you see the walls, roof, windows, doors. You don't see the foundation. It's hidden. इन दोनों diagrams, इन दोनों pages से what do we come to? We come to the fact that first, an assumption is a thing that's accepted to be true. For example, the person who saw 9 accepted it to be true, the number to be as 9. The other person may think of it as 6, but he doesn't care. He says, I see 9, this is going to be 9 only. So, an assumption is a thing that is accepted to be true by a person, and it is going to be whatever question you get on assumption, you always have to look at the question from the perspective of the speaker, of the person we are referring to. So if there's a question that's coming from the perspective of the person looking at it from the 6 number perspective, I have to believe his belief to be true, that is 6. On the contrary, अगर 9 नंबर वाला देख रहा है तो उसको 9 दिखेगा और मैं उसका पर्सपेक्टिव को भी ट्रू मानूंगी उसके बिलीफ से. तो आपको दो चीजें ध्यान रखनी है एवरीवन. पहली चीज हमने क्या ध्यान रखी कि अजम्पशन वो होता है जो स्पीकर ट्रू मानता है, और अजम्पशन हमेशा स्पीकर का ही होता है, ऑथर का ही होता है. आप क्या बिलीव करते हैं उससे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. इसको एक एग्जाम्पल में डाल के देखते हैं. देखो एक और पिक्चर देखते हैं. You look at this. So when this guy falls, let me change the color here. Okay. So when this guy is jumping, he is the speaker. Okay. He is thinking of things. वो speaker है यहाँ. वो assume कर रहा है कि मैं jump कर रहा हूँ. Imagine ये रणवीर सिंह, ऐसा कुछ हुआ था ना रणवीर सिंह के साथ, that he just jumped and he thought people are going to catch him. ऐसा हुआ नहीं था रियलिटी में. तो रियलिटी में क्या होता है, उसको पकड़ते हैं लोग या नहीं पकड़ते हैं, it's some other story altogether. But the one who is jumping believes, assumes that people are going to catch him. Maybe they just run away. We don't care about that. So applying both the things we learned, one, the assumption has to be made by the speaker. What other people think of it, what you think of it, we don't care. Okay? And two, he will believe it to be true. These people will catch me, and that's why I took a blind plunge, was something he believed to be true. When I say true, it has to be 100% true. इतनी कहानी समझ में आई? Did you understand this tiny bit of story before we try to apply this to questions and learn more about it? Yes or no? Let me know that from you. Yes, 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 yes. Did you understand this, everyone? I'm waiting for your answers, everybody. थोड़ा सा lag है in by the time I speak and I get your answers, so I'm waiting for your answers. And after that, I'll move ahead with the next page. That's questions. I'm assuming yes. Okay, yeah. So Nikki says yes. I'll go by what Nikki says and everyone else. So let's apply pointer number 1 and pointer number 2. There's a pointer number 3 as well, which I'll keep pending for now. Let's apply pointer number 1 and 2 to find answers to some questions. Look at this question, everyone. Oh, yes, yes. A lot of people are saying yes. Nikita says, Dia says. Thank you. Uh, Read this statement, okay? And let's try to break it up. What did I teach you? The assumption has to be made always from the perspective of the speaker. Who is the speaker here? Maybe the doctor? Yeah, looks like that. The one who is giving the statement is the doctor. Before I show you the options, can you think of things? Radhika, I teach both. Yeah. Okay. Radhika, there's no difference between both the sections actually. Kelisa teaches both, I teach both as well. So back to it. Before I show you the options, this is an actual CLAT question when we used to get one-liner questions. What you're supposed to do is think. If you can think of an assumption that the doctor would have made. The assumption has to be from the doctor's perspective, remember. Okay? So when the doctor says the patient's condition would improve after the operation, what does the doctor think? Here are your options. Option number 1 and 2. Your answers could be both can follow, only one out of the two, or none, neither. Yes, for us, yes, CR is equal to RC. For now, read both the assumptions and tell me what do you think? What all will follow? I'll wait for your answers. Okay, Ritik says A, only one. Let me break the question, okay, so that it's easy for you to understand. The doctor said the patient's condition would improve after operation. That means one thing is for sure, the doctor is promoting operation here because that is going to make him better. Okay. Also, one has to be true. Now, let's understand why can one be true here. There's a technique that we use to find correct answers to assumptions, and that's called the negation technique. How many of you have heard of this negation technique, or how many of you have used this negation technique? If you know how to use this negation technique, that is the methodology to get critical reasoning assumption questions correct. That was the third pointer I had written, which I hadn't discussed yet. So we'll apply this negation technique to one of our questions. What is the negation technique? Remember the diagram, the house we made. This is the foundation. It's not visible. The assumption, not visible. But the moment I shake the foundation, my house is going to collapse. There's not going to be any house. If I negate a correct assumption, my question will be baseless. Let's understand how the negation technique is used. If the patient cannot be operated upon, can the doctor promote operation? No, he will not. The doctor is promoting operation. He's saying the patient's condition would improve only when there's a certainty that he can be operated upon. If he cannot be operated upon, then the patient's condition would not be improved and the promotion of operation would not have been made. ये जरूरी है इस स्टेटमेंट का ट्रू होना इस क्वेश्चन के ट्रू होने के लिए. ये अजम्पशन कह रहा है ऑपरेशन करना पॉसिबल है तभी डॉक्टर ने ऑपरेशन को प्रमोट किया. Agreed everyone? So one will follow. ये तो ऑपोजिट हो गया क्वेश्चन का. पेशेंट को अगर ऑपरेट ही नहीं कर सकते हैं तो डॉक्टर बोलेगा क्योंकि ऑपरेशन कर दो वो ठीक हो जाएगा, इंप्रूव हो जाएगा. इंप्रूव की जगह डिटियोरेट नहीं हो जाए. दैट्स द निगेशन टेक्निक. एक और क्वेश्चन पे अप्लाई करते हैं निगेशन टेक्निक. या लेट्स अप्लाई टू वन मोर क्वेश्चन एंड सी. That's again an actual CLAT paper question. Detergents should be used to clean clothes. Okay? So for example, एक detergent brand promote कर रहा है या फिर आपकी मम्मा कह रही है detergent use करो to clean clothes. Here, what do you think is going to be correct? What's your answer? ऋतिक, ये टेक्निक सबसे शॉर्ट टेक्निक है. माइंड माई वर्ड्स, दिस इज द बेस्ट टेक्निक जो आपको 100% टाइम्स करेक्ट आंसर देगी. ओके, नाउ पीपल आर सेइंग बी एंड बोथ 1 and 2. ओके, अदर्स बोथ. ठीक है, एक बार रिकैप करते हैं. assumption का हमने फंडामेंटल क्या सीखा था? It has to be certainly true. Okay, and two, uh, negation is the technique that we will follow to find the correct answer. Okay, so detergent form more lather. Jhag, okay, is lather. More lather than what? Do we have ample of information in the statement to show this comparison? किससे ज्यादा लेदर बनाता है? सोप से? How do you know that? How can I be absolutely certain about this? अगर डिटर्जेंट ज्यादा लेदर नहीं बनाता, क्या फिर भी वो कपड़ों को क्लीन कर सकता है? कर सकता है. इसका मतलब ये तो जरूरी नहीं है. इसको गलत करने से मेरा क्वेश्चन तो गलत नहीं हो रहा. मेरा क्वेश्चन मतलब इस पे डिपेंडेंट नहीं है, तो वन तो गलत हो जाता है. Did you learn how to apply the technique? A is incorrect. Let's come to the second one. If negation, okay? If the detergent doesn't help to dislodge grease and tin, how can it be used to clean clothes? No, it cannot be used to clean clothes. It is necessary that it helps. This thing, dirt हटाने में help करता है, तभी ये promotion आया कि detergents use कीजिए cloth clean करने के लिए. अगर ऐसा नहीं करता तो ये promotion आता ही नहीं. That means my statement is dependent on this assumption. That means assumption number 2 is absolutely right. So answer is only 2. Before I move ahead, I want you to do 2 things. I want you to hit the like button right now, because if you understood what I'm explaining, you benefited. I should be benefited too. So I'll be benefited by 3 means. You have to hit the like button right now. You have to share the video right now. Do it right now. I'm sure you're there in multiple Telegram groups. Share my video. Tell Alpa Mom is doing a brilliant job by teaching us critical reasoning on her YouTube channel. Okay, so share it in all the groups wherever you are. WhatsApp, Telegram, sab jagah share kar do. And 3, you have to comment under my video if you think these sessions are helping you. If you comment under the video, I'll be able to bring more sessions for you of that sort. Thank you if you've hit the like button already. And share it, and comment you can do only after the class ends. Let's apply this technique to one last question here, everyone. Double your money in 5 months, an advertisement. Okay. Assumptions, here you go. Okay, B. B. चलो, अब I think improvement आ रहा है. Again, this is an actual CLAT paper question. The answer, क्योंकि सबने unanimously B बता दिया, B है correct answer. ठीक है? जब भी मैं कोई चीज प्रमोट करूंगी ना, तो मेरा assumption होगा कि लोगों को नीड है उस चीज की. जब मैं आपसे बोलूंगी हिट द लाइक बटन, मेरा assumption है तुम हिट करोगे लाइक बटन. Reality में करोगे नहीं करोगे, that's a different story altogether. But my assumption is you're going to hit the like button. You're going to comment under my video. Ma'am, you are the best teacher of all the times. Okay. So ultimately, when I say, here's an offer, you can double your money in 5 months, people want the money to grow. If थोड़ा सा और tricky करते हैं, if the statement was written as people want their money to be doubled, क्या ये सही होगा? Exactly, Vartika. That's the technique. Just keep that technique in your head every time. Smaller statements, bigger statements, this will help you. Now, here, will this assumption follow? People want their money to be doubled. What do you think? Muskan, thank you. ये follow करेगा assumption? Yes, absolutely. बिल्कुल. जो लिखा होगा ना स्टेटमेंट में एज एन एडवर्टाइजमेंट, वो सब कुछ डिमांड में होना है. So even if I'm selling something illegal, it should be something that's in demand. So this will still follow. Yes, you guys are absolutely right. So, in a nutshell, before I conclude the class, थोड़ा सा homework देती हूँ before I see you in the next class. If you're targeting CLAT 2024, come watch me live on our app for a free workshop on 21st of May, 6 p.m., where I will be discussing your sure shot strategy to ace a seat in your dream NLU. Don't miss out on that. If you wish to enroll yourself for our program, here's the number of our counselors. They'll let you know more about the program. And before that, sit for our scholarship test as well. 14th of May, 11 a.m. Thousands of scholarships awaiting you. Do not leave the class without hitting the like button, subscribing to our channel, commenting under my video if you're watching me recorded, not live. You can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Telegram, and download app on Google Play. Little bit of homework. Figure out, there are many questions available on our app on assumptions. Please solve some questions before you see me next week with part 2 of the series, Basics of Critical Reasoning. Work hard, solve questions. You can bring doubts that you have. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a very, very good evening. God bless you.